Essentially, all I know about my granny is from the photo of her holding me on my christening and the fact that she worked for this Jacob's Biscuits. So hopefully Jacob's will have more information about her.
Hannah Nelson was 16 years old when she started work on the factory floor at Jacobs in 1924. At the time, Dublin had just become the capital of the newly independent Irish Free State. Until 1922, it had been the second city of the British Empire. But behind the elegant facade, Dublin had suffered from almost a decade of insurrection and civil war. It was a city riven by poverty and neglect. A job at Jacobs was one of the few ways of escaping destitution. Chris has come to the modern Jacobs factory on the outskirts of Dublin.
Tell you what, it doesn't look open anymore, does it?
Jacobs archivist Douglas Appleyard is showing Chris what life was like in the factory when Hannah worked here.
Oh, wow. They're the girls on the actual putting the biscuits from the oven. That's a hell of a picture.
That was taken around about the time your grandmother left.
Wow.
Jacobs had a reputation for being a progressive employer. Hannah Nelson and her colleagues benefited from on-site facilities for socializing and exercise. The company even provided a factory doctor and dentist.
Now, I've got, I think, something here that you might be interested in.
Oh, wow.
You know, Hannah had a sister,
Right.
Mary, and she worked in Jacobs.
Did she?
Yes.
So it's Mary Nelson, address 8 St Michael's Hill. If my daughter's teeth should be found defective, I agree to let them be filled or, when necessary, extracted. If the factory doctor or the dentist advise this being done. So that's signed Margaret O'Keefe. Now, Margaret O'Keefe would be who? Would have been her mother? No. Now, why is she not Margaret Nelson?
That was signed by the mother, usually.
Yeah, so that's signed Margaret O'Keefe.
Have you any idea who Margaret O'Keefe is?
We have O'Keefes in the family. But I'm thrown now as to who Margaret O'Keefe would be.
Well, I think we can go a little bit further.
Brilliant. Okay, no, so number 378, Hannah Nelson. That's great. Look at that. And she was in the bakehouse. So that's my mum's mum. Mother is crossed out. It says living with grandmother. Ah, wow. Okay, so that's not her mother then. So the O'Keefe isn't the mum. That's her grandmother. While I'm here, actually, this is Hannah Nelson.
Oh, isn't she very attractive?
She's all right, careful, she's family.
She's family, I have to be very careful.
Hannah Nelson's a bit more real now. All of a sudden, she's a living person. But now I've come away thinking, who was her mother? Where's she gone? There's my mum, there's her mum who works here. Where's her mother? I don't know who she is. Was she dead? I want to go back now and try and find out more about Hannah and her mother, who doesn't seem to exist.
The original Jacobs factory where Hannah Nelson worked was in the centre of Dublin. It's now the home of the National Archive of Ireland. Chris has come here in the hope of discovering what happened to Hannah's mother. Helped by archivist Aideen Ireland, he begins by searching the 1911 census, taken 3 years after Hannah's birth.
Nelson? Hannah?
Yeah.
Let's have a search and see what we can find. So that's... Oh, there you go.
There was only one Hannah Nelson living in Dublin at the time.
So here we are, just in Cook Street,
Right.
In Dublin City. So, Chris, here you are, the original 1911
Wow.
census return for Dublin.
Okay, wow. So this is Cook Street, okay. So that's Margaret O'Keefe. Hannah's grandmother. So, name of the head of each family residing in the house. So there's 2 O'Keefes. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means 5 families are living in the one house. Wow. Number of rooms occupied by each family, 1. That's a squeeze. This is them. This is the family. Now they're all O'Keeffe's bar 1 Nelson. Hannah. Okay, so where born? So Dublin, England. Hannah Nelson was born in England. Maybe I'm English. Okay, so she was born in England. At the age of 3, was living in Dublin with Margaret O'Keeffe, which is, from what I gather, her grandmother. So where Hannah's mum and dad? And why she left England at such an early age and then not... Oh, God, they must have died. This is going to be one of those sad ones.